Hello, beautiful stars. Courtney here with Stars of Morning Light. And this is a video about the secrets to cutting energetic cords. Throughout this video, I will be giving different examples of things. And at the very end, I will give examples as to the different variations of how all of this works and how you can be successful in cutting energetic cords and completely removing them. So, if you are new here, welcome to Stars of Morning Light. I am Courtney, the host, teacher of all ancient knowledge in modern form. Yes, I try to make old things very simple and easy for us to apply. And this is energetic cord cutting. So, before I begin, I do want to emphasize throughout this entire video that energetic cord cutting happens either afterwards a great amount of healing has taken place and or during. And throughout this I will be giving examples as to why and timing of things. So if you haven't heard of what energetic cords are, energetic cords is in reference to how all is energy. And we actually form energy cords, they're invisible, between ourselves and people, places, and things. I said that right, folks. People, places, and things. Energetic cords, when they are in place, they continue the pattern of push and pull, back and forth, hurt and release, right? Forgiveness, unforgiveness. They create an unhealthy within. And there's good energetic cords. Of course there are. Between people, places, and things. Great, good, energetic cords. Of course, if you're wanting to cut them and remove them, well then, we're talking about the not good cords. So these energy cords is what keeps us attached. It's what keeps us going back. It's what keeps us in unhealthy thought patterns, habits, and behaviors. Just one of the aspects that works against our healing process instead of for our healing process. I wanted to make this video because I would say probably multiple times a year, I get a text, I get a call, I get a DM, what have you, of beautiful people that they think they cut cords, but they still know that they're there. I don't know what happened, Courtney. I'm sure I cut all of this away, but I can still feel the connection. I can still feel like there's some kind of pull to that person, place, or thing. What is going on? Because I thought I did it right. Oh, beloveds, everyone, you do. You do it right. But there are secrets. There are little gems as to it being successful. That when you are done, you are truly done. So that is what this video is going to be about. So please settle in, take notes, leave comments below. I am glad you are here. I said people, places, and things. Let's give some examples of that. People that we have energetic cords with. Well, that could be a whole array of folks. It is usually those that we have strong connections or long-term connection with. That could be co-workers, roommates, ex-partners, all of the physical partners you've had, parents, siblings, family, friends, right? I just gave a whole host of those that you might have been together with for long durations. Cellmates, if you ever spent time, all of that. You have energetic cords attached to them, and vice versa. If you worked in a facility or in a close environment with others for 3 or more years, we often spend more time with our coworkers than we do with our actual family. There are usually energetic cords. Now, I do not want to go into what is a soulmate, what is a soul contract, twin flames. There will be another video being released soon about the definitions of all those so we can identify what is what. Please subscribe so you can receive that information as well. So I think we can identify, for the most part, the chords of the people that we should or need to cut, right? But I did say places and I said things. And these are the stuff that they're so subtle that many of us do not recognize that that is a part of our healing process as well. That we have to cut the cord to also places and things. Example of places. Every building, it takes skyscrapers and whatnot a little bit longer to do this, but every building, house, structure that you have spent time in and others have spent time in, because it is natural resources that create those places, from the wood to the brick, what have you, that collects the energy of the people and the experiences that happen within. It collects the energy over time. And we are not aware that we still have an energetic cord to these locations. Have any of you ever traveled maybe to an old family home where unfortunately that was the house that the divorce happened in, or that was the house that grandma passed away in, that sort of thing. And when we drive by it, we see it. It pulls in all of this emotion. Good, bad, indifferent, healing, right? There's a cord because of the experiences happened within. That's just one example. It could be an office building, right? That entire building, people, places, things, right? It could be even, let's say, you're on a school trip while growing up and you think it's going to be the best day ever. You're going to the zoo. Best day ever. And unfortunately, that was the day that all of the kids decided to gang up on you. That you were the outcast that day. Not just the experience, but that location in your mind, in your psyche, there's a cord to. It leads to, I'm never taking my kids to the zoo. I'm never gonna drive down that road again. All these things that we tell ourselves based out of situations and circumstances that happened, but there is a cord to that. So very subtle. But when we're healing through the whole process, we're healing through the trauma, we're healing through what really happened that day at the zoo and the confusion it caused within us for months. When we're healing that, do note there's not just cords with the people, also location. Now, things. Wow. Yes. This is when, for me personally, full, whole healing truly takes place. It is so easy for us as humans to identify the people, and we somewhat can identify the places. We know these places. We choose not to drive by them. We choose not to interact with them. The things. The things are very subtle. Things could be anything you were addicted to at one point. It could be chocolate, cigarettes, video games, right? Anything that you were addicted to. That has a cord. That definitely has a cord, right? That push and pull. That push and pull. That's a thing. Things can also be any ideals, dogmas, um, habits, habits formed out of outside influences that were reoccurring experiences, forming a pattern over time. I'll give an example. So I knew someone much older, a different generation than I, that while growing up, their mother every Saturday, instead of saying, hey, okay, straighten up your room and go out, and then you can go out and play, their mother actually had them go around the entire house to dust the floorboards by hand before they were able to go out and play. So throughout the entire house, they're on their knees dusting the floorboards as they're witnessing through the window all their friends playing. It was a reoccurring experience creating thought patterns, habits, and behaviors. So stay with that for just a moment, please. I'm using this as an example because it is somewhat extreme, right? Whoa, dusting the floorboards, right? Somewhat extreme, but we all have something. It doesn't always have to be big incidences of trauma. It could be these things that we grow up with that we don't realize has caused something within. And usually, when we're healing from the bigger stuff that's more identifiable, these things come in and we become hyper focused on them. So let's stay with that example of dusting the floorboards every Saturday. Usually within the human psyche, and I'm not saying all, I'm saying the majority of us. Let's say we go through something like that as a child. As an adult, we're going to react usually in two different ways. Either we are going to completely reject dusting, period. I hate dusting. This is when we hear people say things like that. Oh, I hate doing that. I hate dusting. And then you walk into that person's house, and because they hate it, ooh, it's as if they haven't dusted in 5 years and you're just breathing in dust. It's a complete rejection. Or because it became a pattern. And that pattern then, as an adult, needs to be in place within that person. This is when you get someone, let's say Saturday morning, they are an adult now, they have children, they live their lives, but every Saturday it is programmed that the entire family cleans the house from top to bottom. Everything has to be spotless. But then some random Saturday, hey, we're not going to clean the house, we're going to go to the beach. And that person immediately, anxiety starts coming in. And now there's interesting dialogue happening. As in, hey, we're leaving, get in the car. Oh, just let me finish the dishes first. No, 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 you can do that later. Get in the car. They get in the car. Are you okay? Well, I'm just thinking, if we don't clean the house right now, when are we ever going to get to cleaning the house? Anxiety. Anxiety because something came in and interfered with the pattern. And this is more a bit of like someone would see that as OCD. It's actually more like OCD PD. It's a pattern that if something interrupts it, anxiety, when are we ever going to clean the house if we go to the beach? We have to clean the house before we leave. I don't know what to do with myself. This can happen in so many subtle ways. An example from my own life. I'll give two in the idea of things. I was definitely one of the latchkey kids who I was the one that cooked dinner many nights, right? I'm the one kind of making sure people were eating. Well, as an adult, that turned into a subtle by 2 o'clock. I'm thinking about what are we having for dinner? Oh my goodness, I didn't take anything out for dinner. What are we doing for dinner? Right? Because it was a pattern developed over time that, oh my goodness, dinner every night, right? I didn't really notice it until many, many moons ago. I was laid off from a job because of funding purposes. I had nothing to do with it. But now I'm not working. And many people, the first time you kind of lose your career or your job, there's a lot to work through because we tend to strap our identity to our career. So I'm trying to heal and work through what seemingly is a big thing. But you know what I started focusing on? About every day at 2 o'clock. Oh my goodness, what are we going to have for dinner? What's going to be for dinner? All I have to think about is what is for dinner. And if I couldn't figure it out, my mind would start saying, wow, I'm a failure. I'm a failure. I attached what was really needing to be healed and looked at and let go to this subtle undercurrent of a reoccurring theme that I developed as a child. We all have these things. Same as, here's another. It might not have to be a kind of program, right? An outside influence, developing these thought patterns and behaviors. It could be something that we choose at a young age that we now completely disagree with. But if we held on to it at a young age with such conviction, it is ingrained in us. So here's another example from my own life on how we have to cut energetic cords from people, places, things. Places could be school institutions, any institution, any institution. Also, things, thoughts, philosophies, dogmas, concepts. So when I was young, by high school and definitely my early 20s, I was a firm believer in Darwinism, firm believer that it was a dog eat dog world, man versus man, survival of the fittest. And oh, yes, I operated in that in my entirety. I was going to get you before you got me. I was going to outsmart you before you got me. I was going to manipulate you. And if push came to shove, man, I was going to be stronger than you as well. Because I will fight dirty first. I would not even have thought about not being dirty about it. I thought I was justified. That was me over 20 years ago. People change. But that was me taking this ideology, this concept, this thought from another and making it my own and living my life that way. Well, okay, over the years, definitely by my 30s, I am in a tremendous amount of healing process. Tremendous amount of healing process. But then I began to notice that even though I'm healing and I'm changing and I'm growing and I'm learning and I'm adopting new thought patterns and habits and behaviors and new spirituality and new ideologies and new philosophies, even though I'm doing all of that, during that long stretch of healing process, right? Pulling away all the layers of who I was and becoming anew, I began to notice that when the moment something stressful or possibly fearful came into my sight, came into my life, I had a default reaction into Darwinism. I'm going to get you before you get me. That was my automatic first thought. My automatic. Even though I had been healing greatly, because it's subtle. And we're not thinking that that's the stuff that have energetic cords to them. So even though I laid down that philosophy, I laid down those thoughts because I still had an energetic thought process, an energetic cord to that, right? An energetic cord to that. That the moment something that I did not like came into my scope, I'm going to take that out first. That's not how I operate. Now I have healed greatly. I cut and removed these energetic cords to people, places, things. And now I work within the law of grace, compassion, forgiveness. I have no fear because I trust, trust, trust. This is such a big process. But oftentimes, those little subtle things that we have cords to, we're not even aware of. We're not even aware of. And then if we default into that, well, then shame comes in and guilt comes in because we reacted in our default. Well, our default is going to be there because partly these energetic cords. There will be another video also coming out shortly about inner child work and the ego and how that all kind of operates within. All of this applies. Energetic cords and all of the work that you've been doing, all of the great healing that you've been doing. So, what's one of the secrets? Now that we've identified people, places, and things, that the scope of energetic cords is much bigger than we might be aware of, that we have attachments and cords to all sorts of stuff. What is one of the secrets? Why do people contact me and say, Courtney, what am I doing wrong? They're not doing anything wrong. They're just not finishing the process because no one's told them. So when we cut an energetic cord, thank you for that little um, sticking with me through that. Energetic cord, when we go to cut those, we think, because no one's told us, that we just cut them. We give our thanks, we give our praise, we thank whomever, whatever, for teaching us what needed to be taught, that sort of thing. We kind of go through this basic knowledge that is circulating out there in the world as to how to do this. There is a part that is very, very missed. When we go to cut them, everybody just assumes we cut, we're good, we move on. That's not necessarily so. If you truly want to be rid of it, especially if this is a very intimate, dynamic connection, meaning with parents, siblings, ex-partners, current partners, and we'll get into that. Like I said, addictions, right? This is why it's somewhat hard to stop, to truly stop. We think we just cut and we let it be. We might even cut and try to do a little bit of transmutation. We cut and we let be. To the degree of the connection, it's an energetic cord. You are an energetic being. So if it is a strong connection, oh, there's a root somewhere. It's not just a cord. That was welcomed in, it was placed in, it was influenced in, it was attached somehow, willing or knowing or unknowing, I should say. There's a root. There's a very strong root with many of these. Many of these. So we cut and then we start pulling. And we start pulling and pulling and pulling. You have to get to the root where it's attached, where it has become hard and firm and grown like a tree within you. You have to remove all of it. All of it. And I will give examples as to how at the end of this. All of it. That is why I get so many calls of people going, I thought I cut the cord to my ex. What's going on here? Like, I thought I did, but I am still feeling all of this pull from them. I'm still feeling them so much. What is happening? Well, A, all people, places, and things, there might be multiple cords within you and attached. It might not just be one cord, especially with locations, especially with things, right? Like when I talked about how I lived in extreme Darwinism for the majority of my young 20s. Well, that's a whole lot of actions on my part, and then people reacting to me back and forth, that those are also cords attached to the main cord of that ideology. There's always a lot of cords. So, like an ex-partner, it's not just going to be one big main cord. There's going to be that. But you guys get rid of all the other ones. And all the other ones also have little roots. All sorts of little roots. Especially if you've been with that person for a very long time, or especially if they're a family member, it is kind of like roots of a tree. And some trees spring forth shoots, right? So there might be many. And with the main one, definitely. That is the biggest secret I can give you. You gotta get the entire cord out. Because if not, cords, because all is energy, and they're attracted to each other because they were once whole. Anything that was, anything in life that feels half of desires to be whole again. Any energy that feels half of desires to be whole again. It will automatically do its best to bring itself back together. It will automatically create that push-pull. It will automatically create all of those longing thoughts. It will automatically make the healing process much longer because all energy, if once together, it wants to be together. So we don't just cut, we completely remove. We completely remove. So as far as how does this look? Before I get into the examples as to techniques you can use for those who are um, able in visual techniques and those who are not, I had just said, what about people in our current life that are in our life, who's going to stay in our life? Parents, siblings, partners, partners of right now, partners who were all faulty people, partners who have done things. And I'm sure you have done things as well. But there are some chords there. And it's like, that happened 8 years ago. But yet it still comes up in my mind too much. I have forgiven them, but yet it lingers. Why does that linger so? It might be because there's an energetic cord to that entire situation that happened. And so there's a continuous love, forgiveness, compassion, grace, beautiful, because they are your partner and you have forgiven them and there's been resolve and things have been fine for the past 8 years. We still have to remove those energetic cords to the past. Remember, people, places, things. So it could be, let's say your partner at one point, out of fear, started gambling. And there was about 6 months of like they were doing it in secret. You found out, well, we lost how much? You forgave your partner, and your partner has never done it again. And they're not going to. They healed. You healed. But every time you pass a casino, or every time you see another person putting money towards gambling, and you have these thoughts of, oh, those idiots, right? These angry thoughts. That could be there's an energetic cord to that entire situation involving people, places, things, right? Gambling didn't do it, but that's a thing. That's also an institution. Gambling didn't do it. Your husband or partner, your spouse, your wife, whomever, your partner, they did it. They did the act. You've already forgiven them. But is there a cord involved in that? Because there can be multiple cords, places. That one gas station that they bought all of the tickets at all the time. That casino that they were spending late nights at and you didn't know exactly what was going on. All of that, places. Our emotions, our thoughts, because we are an energetic being, form these cords if we're aware of it or not. So we can heal and we can forgive and we can have grace and compassion. But man, in those pockets and of those moments, and our mind is not healthy. Some refer to this as arsenal, right? In the chest of memories. That when, let's say, a fight does kind of, or an argument, I should say, between couples happens, oh man, whoo, now the darts are flying. And most people say that's not true forgiveness. It's not so much they haven't forgiven necessarily. It could be that it's just still lingering based on the energetic cord that is still attached. These are tools to add to the whole of a healing process. So if you truly believe you have forgiven and you're with your partner and you're like, this is my partner. I'm going to be with this partner for as long as I can be, right? Then we have to remove them. We keep the good, we get rid of the bad. We keep the good, we keep all those beautiful memories. We keep all those beautiful times. And we let go of just that little pocket of when something wasn't as good as we would want. That formed resentments, formed insecurities, formed fears, all still within the energetic cord. And man, do we pull from that cord when we feel justified. So we can do this with those that we are still connected. We can. That's very much in the spirit of true forgiveness. Because once that's gone, it's gone. You gotta get the root out. So here are some examples. For a visual person, when I say a meditation, this is a focused meditation. Focused meditation is not a deep meditation. Deep meditations are more so when the meditation is in the driver's seat and you're a passenger and you're experiencing the meditation. A focused meditation is more so you using your imagination. You're visualizing it and you are directing what is happening. That is a focused meditation. So, in a focused meditation for those who are full of imagination and can picture things, okay? Many of you know the beginning and how this would go down. You get in a nice, beautiful, quiet, peaceful place alone. You can even put on some music if you need to. You maybe want to, if you are any form of energy healer, you can do some Reiki on yourself or whatever your form of energy healing is. If you are not a healer in that regard, I would imagine beautiful positive light energy coming up from the earth and filling you and down from above, filling you to get you into a healthy place. Then what we can do is we can visualize the person, the place, the thing. And if it's a dogma, an ideology, a philosophy that we have completely gone the other way and we're wanting to let go of, if it's something like that, you can picture whatever that that would symbolize it to you. So like with me and Darwinism, in my mind I pictured Darwin, a picture of Darwin in front of me. Like I am not accepting this anymore, right? You picture something that is symbolic to it. If it is an addiction, picture a cigarette, picture that chocolate bar, picture that gaming console, right? Picture whatever might symbolize it to you. If it's dogma, if it's an ongoing pattern, if it's something like dusting the floorboards of a house, well, you got your all your dusting tools, your rag and your chemical, right? You picture something, people, place, thing. You then speak to it. You actually tell it, thank you. Thank you for serving me in whichever way, shape, and form you were a service to me. because somewhere along the line it was. Somewhere along the line it was. Like my anxiety that I had about cooking dinner every night, obsessing about it, focusing on that instead of focusing on what was really going on. Hmm. That actually served me in that time. And it also served me that I know how to cook. I know how to cook because I had to, right? So some things, it did serve you somewhere along the line. We recognize those things when healing has happened. So we thank it. I thank you for serving me in the way you have. I thank you and I release you. I release you. Okay? Now you imagine that energetic cord between you two, between you. It's present at this time if you would like. If you work with the angelic being or a guide, what have you, you can call them in. I will express now that Archangel Michael loves helping people cut cords. He loves it. He will come with his knives and just start cutting them all away. And you can request for Archangel Michael to come in and assist you. Because, like I said, there can be many cords we're not even aware of, especially with ex-partners, because that intimacy is very deep. You can call Archangel Michael in and you can request, hey, help me cut these cords. And while you cut the main line, however you want to do that, you can picture yourself with a sword, a knife, scissors, whatever it may be, and you spend the time getting pulling. You gotta pull. You gotta pull. I'll talk about that in a moment. Michael can be removing all them other little ones. Michael can be removing everything. Michael loves it. It's like one of his favorite things to do for us. That is service to us. All of those beings, they are here to help serve us. So we can call upon them. So, as Michael's cutting away, you grab hold of that original stronghold energetic cord. You just cut it. Grab on and you start pulling and you start pulling. And this part might get tearful. This part is the real healing. You start pulling, and everything that had ever been attached to that starts just kind of coming and coming. And then you get to the root and you'll see it because you're visualizing all of this. You will see the impact. You will see how much it rooted into you, and you remove it all. You remove it all. And after you have removed it all energy and transmutation dissolves into itself, or you move it to something else that will do it for you. I will tell you, the earth, she is the master at transmutation. She is a beautiful transmutation master. You can give that to the earth and she will transmute it and she will actually change it into something positive. Or you can order it because it's your cord, you have the authority to dissolve, right? To dissolve. Oftentimes in transmutation, you might see smoke. That is actually what looks like the dissolving of it. We cut, we pull, we make sure we get all of the roots so it doesn't grow back. We give it to the earth, or we dissolve it ourselves. That is in a, and if you do call in Michael, if you do call in, he will show you and guide you through this. That is a visual, a focused visual meditation to cut the cords. Now, beloveds, I'm not going to do it here in on camera, but then you clap. You clap loudly. You clap loudly. So after everything's been cut, after you have thanked them and you release them, after you have pulled out that root, after you have transmuted everything, you clap. And you can clap 3 times. That is a me to you, you to me. The universe has ended it. Clap. Clapping is a sound that then it will always break the energy. It will always release the energy. It will always end whatever needs to be ended. You clap. Ooh. Now, if you are a non-visual person, I understand. I understand that there are many people out there that their brains operate differently. And so a lot of teachers, healers, what have you, they really only focus on those who are capable of being visual. There were a lot of elements into what I just said that even a non-visualized person can be, or can use, I should say. So if you don't want to use your imagination, well, then you use your words. You use your words in so many forms, and you trust that it's happening. You trust, you trust, you trust. It would be pretty much the same process. For you, though, use your phone, use an old picture, use what you need. If it's an old partner and you have a picture, take it out, look at it. If it's a location, pull it up on the map. If it's a thing, once again, something that visualizes it for you. Pull it up, take out that picture, look at it, acknowledge it. Because for you, it is the acknowledgement that the cord is present. For you, acknowledging it is very beneficial. Because even if you can't see it, it's there. And so you look at that picture, you speak to that person, place, or thing out loud, very much out loud. And you say, thank you for how you served me. I release you. Now, instead of you visualizing pulling out a cord, right? Because that is not how your brain might operate. Well, then you talk that cord out. It can happen, folks. It can be used. You talk that cord out. And you talk in a way of, I thank you, I release you, and I release all that ever was. And you start talking it out. That trip to the beach, that night at my parents' house, all of it. You talk it out. You get that cord out. Start talking it out. I release this. 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 I release this, because your intention and your words are going to do the exact same job as someone who is visualizing it. I released the entire summer of 2023, right? Like you're just talking it out. You're all that would be in your scope of memory at that time. And then by your authority, verbally, you can even use your hands to kind of emphasize this. You would say, by my authority, I remove the entire root between you and me. And it's like you can move your hands as if you're scooping it all up and you're moving it out. Now, with transmutation, because you're not a visual person, that is for you when you ask the universe or you ask the earth to transmute it for you, right? And trust and trust and trust. And you do the exact same thing. You clap and clap and clap. So, visual people that have an active imagination, use your imagination. Non-visual people, you can get the same results by using your words. By using your words. Please do so. Please do so. And if there is still contact with your current partner that you will always be a partner with, and these cords have been removed, get them out of your frame of reference. Remove them from your frame of reference. This is why the non-visual people speaking it also have great results because they are speaking out, they're releasing and healing all of the little parts, all of it. They are they are removing it as well from their frame of reference. Visual people, if that frame of reference comes in because it's only 2 days later, that's when we use affirmations. Affirmations. Non-visual people, you can use affirmations as well. Affirmations after an intense cord cutting session, removing the root, breaking the energy, transmuting. Affirmations is what helps to rewire the brain. Why do we have to do this? Rewire the mind, rewire all the memories that were just removed. Because it is a cosmic law that when we remove something, we have to replace it with something else. And oftentimes we're unaware of this cosmic law that when we remove something like an energetic root, when we remove something, we have to replace it with something else. And if we're not aware of it, it's going to be decided for us. And usually, unknowingly, it is decided, it is decided by our unhealed thought patterns, habits, and behaviors that are still present in our life, right? This is why those who quit drinking and they're doing good for a while, all of a sudden do start gambling because they might have not have replaced it with something, right? So we're still thought pattern, habit, and behavior, still root cause as to why we were drinking. Well, now it's just we're gambling. We see this in everyday life. Oh, I'm gonna stop playing this video game, and then it just becomes, oh, now I'm over here on Reddit 24/7. Same difference, right? Same difference. So, and that was nothing against Reddit, but same difference. We have the conscious awareness authority to choose what we replace it with. Now, if we don't know what we want to replace it with, we can, in that moment, start replacing it with affirmations for ourselves. And that helps start filling in that pocket of the root, right? That root, that pocket, when we just removed a big grand chunk within, if it's just an empty hole, oh, that is vulnerable for a whole lot of things to enter. So we start replacing it with affirmations, right? Well, beautiful, lovely stars. I hope this did help. Remember, you remove the entire root so it doesn't grow back. You have energetic cords to people, places, and things. And you can remove them. I am ensuring this to those who have creative imaginations and those who don't, because all people can heal. This is just an extra tool and layer you can use while working through the layers of our complex lives. I hope you appreciate it. Please leave a comment below. Share this out to others if you think that they can use it. Um, and consider subscribing to here to Stars of Morning Light because yes, other videos will be coming out, especially inner child work. What are soul contracts? What are soul mates? All that wonderful things that we live with that might need help identifying. Please stay tuned to Stars of Morning Light. And very much, everyone, please let me know if this helped. Leave a comment below. Um, because I hope one day that I don't get any calls or DMs or messages anymore asking me, why hasn't this worked? That we can heal greatly so we can truly love greatly. Bye, everyone. Namaste.